Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this week's episode of CWS. Now, last week was Elimination Chamber, well, Sunday it was. So, why don't we watch the very first Elimination Chamber? I think we will, ladies and gentlemen. So, emanating from St. Louis, Missouri in 2010, we have the Elimination Chamber 2010. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to our first matchup. So, we just had our first matchup, which was Triple H, Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, Ted DiBiase, Randy Orton, and John Cena entering the Elimination Chamber. This was a very well-paced, well-put-together match. Wasn't a fan of elimination. I think they need to be spread out a bit more personally, but that is, again, my opinion. So, Kofi Kingston and Sheamus started the match off. Then Triple H entered, then Orton and DiBiase, then Cena did. So a couple of notes from the match. This is the Elimination Chamber with Hunter's creepy smile, with the light emanating off it. That was very funny. I thought it was a really funny thing. Matt Striker's commentary is very good in this. It's very good so far. We'll listen to more of it as it comes out throughout the show. But I feel like he was insane as a broadcast commentator. Very intelligent, very well paced, well pronounced, well toned. It was good. I don't know why WWE didn't use more with him, but they did. They didn't do anything. The way, so where the chains are linked together and they're all spaced out. It's not perfect. That's what I love about this old school chamber. I know it's a lot more dangerous than the newer chamber, but it just feels like it's more unforgiving, it's more dangerous, and that's what I like about this chamber. It's very well put together. Couple things from the match. Nice DDT from Hunter onto Sheamus, really nice. Boom drop onto the steel on the outside from Kofi. That looked brutal and hurt both guys, and it was very well timed and well done. Kofi Kingston hits a crossbody on everybody, then a nice drop kick by Orton. Only got 1 foot though, but still very impressive. To see Orton still doing the drop kick, he can still do a drop kick, which is very entertaining and very good. So finisher, so there was a bit in the match which I absolutely loved. RKO countered, Trouble in Paradise cancelled, RKO cancelled, prevented, Pedigree prevented, another Trouble in Paradise prevented, from over the top rope. Beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful. Nice build up as well with the triple threat, with the legacy triple threat that will happen at Mania. So Cody brings in a pipe to give to DiBiase. DiBiase uses it, but Cena turns because he has Orton on his shoulders to let Orton take the hit. AA's Orton, then DiBiase hits Cena with the pipe, and then DiBiase pins Orton to eliminate him first. That was a very nice thing, and I thought that was a nice psychology to have. Well, DiBiase's going to be out first. Nice little bait and switch, but then Orton would, DiBiase would be out next by a Trouble in Paradise to Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston was out next via a white noise by Sheamus, or the Razor's Edge. Sheamus was eliminated by, I think it was Cena. It was either Cena or Hunter. I think it was one of those two. And then Cena wins the match by tapping out Triple H to the STF. This was a very good match, I thought, and it sets up a lot going forward for WrestleMania 26. Classic Wrestling Series episode 2018, where it was still called the WWF Series. If you want, link in the description below there'll be a few links in the description below. For that show, if you want to check it out, it's WrestleMania 26, so it's a month after this pay-per-view, if you want to see what happens going forward. But yeah, really nice storytelling for DiBiase Orton. Sets up Hunter and Sheamus, and it sets up Cena versus Batista, because next up Batista beats Cena for the title. The man comes out and says, "Congratulations, Cena, you're going to WrestleMania if you can beat Batista." And 32 seconds later, punch, spear, Batista bomb. We have a new WWE champion in Batista. Very entertaining. I don't think it really needed it. Maybe put it on Raw, give him like a 24-hour title reign, and then have Batista beat him up and have the match then. But I thought it was a nice touch at the end of this show. So, next up, guys, we have got Drew McIntyre versus Kane for the IC title. Let's watch that. So, we just had Kane versus McIntyre for the title. This was very good. It felt a bit rushed. I don't know why. Maybe because they needed a high-paced match after the Chamber being a slower, more persistent match because it's in a chamber. But this was good. McIntyre's Broken Dreams theme song, I love the Broken Dreams theme. I think it's one of my favourite themes of all time from WWE personally. Yeah, nice way to finish the match, you know, the old kick to the bowels and a future shot DDT for the win. Very entertaining. Drew and Kane would go on to face each other in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Kofi Kingston would enter that match as well, just to wrap up everything nicely. But yeah, it was very good. Next up, we have got Gail Kim and Maryse for the Divas Championship. Let's watch this. Apologies, it wasn't a Divas Championship match, so it was supposed to be the finals of the Divas title tournament, or whatever they called it. But no, we then turned it into a tag team match with Layla Michelle McCool, taking on Gail Kim and Maryse. This is built from Vicky Guerrero saying that the Raw locker room has been talking shit about the SmackDown locker room, so here we go, here's a match. It was a good 3-minute match. You know, they had Maryse, Maryse could wrestle. Gail Kim, you know, TNA built the fucking women's division around her and Awesome Kong. But WWE just dropped the fucking ball with Gail Kim, I think. Like, out of all the women they've had in WWE, I feel like they dropped the ball with Gail Kim so fucking hard, personally. You know, on her second run, and her first run, really. I know she did win the women's title in her first run, but still, it just felt a bit lackluster, to me personally. And then, you know, so all 4 women would be in a 8-person tag, or I think it was an 8-person tag at Mania 26, including a lot more women, females. So, next up, before the main event, we've got Miz versus MVP for the US title. Let's watch this. So, we just had Miz versus MVP for the US Championship, and I have to admit, out of the 2 lower mid-card title belt matches, this one was a bit better, I thought. I think there was more chemistry between Miz and MVP. Definitely more, it was more entertaining, I thought personally, especially with MVP and Miz. Miz was underrated in 2010, I thought. I think he's a bit underrated now. I have to admit that one, and he is good, but at the same time, it's like, mate, you really, you know, if you can just tweak your gimmick a little bit, it'd be massive. And I think when he won the Money in the Bank for the first time, I think that really helped him. After Jericho won it. No, Swagger won the Money in the Bank, spoiler alerts, and then a few months later there was a Money in the Bank pay-per-view, if I recall. Miz won that and then cashed in on Orton. So yeah, my timeline's matching up, I think. But yeah, you know, once he had the Money in the Bank ladder match, it was very entertaining, very good. And yeah, it was really, really good. So, next up, guys, we have got the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match. Let's do it. So, we just had the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber match. This was, out of both chamber matches, this one was the better chamber match, I thought. Even though they had Morrison, Punk, and Truth as as Elimination Chamber first timers, this was a very good match. It wasn't pin, win. It was pin, 10 minutes of the last match, you know, kind of thing, which is really good. So, Ray, Morrison, Jericho, Undertaker, Punk, and Truth came out in that order to begin the match. Also, at the same time, this is the match where Undertaker would get burnt. So what happened was there was a malfunction of the pyro, the fire pyro, and unfortunately, I think it was either his left or right arm gets burnt. It goes into a ball of flames for just a few seconds, but it still does damage. So Taker, obviously being pissed off, just walks straight to the cage, and you actually see water droplets in his pod because they're putting water on him as fast as they can to ease the pain. Also, as I was watching the match, news broke that wrestling legend Paul White has signed with AEW. I will talk more about that in my AEW video coming up later today. But if you want to check it out, I'll put a link in the description below for the to the article from AEW's official website. I made sure it was the official website before I say this. It is from AEW.com, AEWWrestling.com, so if you want to check it out, it's in the description below, so you can check it out. So Punk and R-Truth actually start the match off, and within the first 5 minutes, that's our first elimination. Punk hits the GTS on R-Truth to eliminate him, so that's good. Then Mysterio comes out third, who then pins Punk to get eliminated. Jericho comes out, who pins Ray, if I recall. Morrison comes out next, who gets pinned by the Undertaker. Undertaker comes out last and gets Sweet Chin Music by Shawn Michaels, setting up their rematch at Wrestlemania 26. And Jericho is our new World Heavyweight Champion. So in two chamber matches, they each build 3 matches for Mania. We have Punk and Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania with the hydraulic failure for Rey Mysterio, so he has to climb out of the hole. Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, because they have their second match at Mania 26, and Jericho and Edge, because Edge wins the Rumble, and then Jericho and Edge challenges Jericho. So we have, 3 matches being built up in total for Mania, which is really good. Why don't WWE do this more? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. So, what did I think of the show overall? It was a well-paced show. It was highly entertaining. I managed to sit down and watch it in one sitting. It was a good show. Favorite match of the night. I'll do favorite chamber, favorite match, least favorite match. Favorite chamber, probably the World Heavyweight Title chamber, because that sets up, big, not does the Raw chamber sets up matches, but the SmackDown matches are more highly rated because Punk and Mysterio put on if I recall, because Mania again is episode 18 for CWS, and I think I've done the Royal Rumble 2010. If I recall, give me a sec. I think I've done the Royal Rumble 2010. Yeah, Royal Rumble 2010 was episode 51. Again, I'll put links in the description below to both them to the episodes to show the month before and the month after. But yeah, it was a very high, it was a good match. But I feel like the chamber match, the SmackDown chamber match, had better better build up for the matches, because Taker Michaels is an inter-promotional match. Rey Mysterio Punk was, in my eyes, better, and one that I actually wanted to watch. And Jericho Edge, again, was another inter-promotional match in a way, because he was on Raw at the time. And yeah, it was a really good matchup. Least favourite match, just because it was under a minute, I'm going to have to go for Batista Cena. A lot of people will probably say Cole versus Gail Kim and Maurice, but to be honest, for 3 minutes, they did a good job. I thought they did a very entertaining job, and at the time, the women's division in WWE was not being but as strong as it is today. So you have to go in with that mindset. You have to watch the match as a match and see how good it is. And for a match, it was good. It was just booking that was bullshit. So yeah, very entertaining. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I say, that is my episode 70, I think it's 77 if I recall. 77? Give me a sec, I do apologise about this. I need to doubly make sure. Yeah, episode 77 of the Classic Wrestling Series, Out of Sight, Out of Mind, Out of Pocket. Where are we going to next week? I don't know. But I think it's been a long time since I've gotten Extreme. So I think we're going to go down that road. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. As always, keep that smile on your face. It does look good on you guys. Keep safe, wear a mask, sanitize your hands, and as always, please, do keep that smile on your face. It does look good. Catch you later for my AEW review.